Hi there everybody, welcome to a new episode of the vlog. Today I'm doing another episode of Kisstory, my way overly ambitious Kiss history series. I've lost track of what episode number this is, but I've moved up to 2004. I've been covering the entire history of the band in my Kisstory playlist that you can find on my channel. But where I last left off, it was the end of the World Domination Tour that Kiss played in 2003 with Aerosmith. Their last show was Peter Criss's 58th birthday in 2003, and it would wind up being the last gig to this day that Peter Criss ever played in the band. In the early months of 2004, it was announced that for the second time in just like 3 years, he had been replaced by Eric Singer. This will be Eric Singer's third term in this band, and this will end Peter Criss's third separate tenure in this band. A lot of back and forth going on between the two of them there. But this, spoiler alert, is the last lineup change that I'll talk about, because 17 years later, it's still Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer, and that lineup did their first tour in 2004. They really wasted no time before announcing tour dates in Australia and Japan. They did a really cool thing in Australia. Of course, the year before, they hadn't really toured the country, but they had done that one-off show with the Kiss Symphony, which had been a very cool success for them. And now they were coming back to do a full tour the following year, May of 2004, and they brought along with them the Melbourne Symphony Ensemble, who was the group that had backed them up, the smaller group that backed them up in the second act of the Kiss Symphony show. And also, they did sort of back and forth. They would one night play a larger venue, and then the next day a small intimate theater for kind of the super fans, and played some pretty rare tracks. Some songs. There were a few pretty rare tracks played on this tour. They were trying to prove to people that this new lineup could play anything from any period of Kiss's history. After the Australia and Japanese tours, they did another big double bill tour in North America. It wasn't quite as big as Kiss-Aerosmith combination had been in 2003, but this time they brought out Poison. This was a tour specifically in Live Nation's outdoor amphitheater venues. They'd done, I think, the same thing in 2003, the year before, with their August to October tour dates with Aerosmith. But yeah, they're playing specifically the outdoor venues. I've never liked those Live Nation outdoor venues, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, fairly successful tour with Poison. A couple of dates from that tour were filmed for Rock the Nation Live, the DVD. And one of those two, the Virginia Beach show, is now going to be the second installment of the Off the Soundboard releases. I'm really excited for that, the sort of official bootleg series that Kiss is doing now. But after the Rock the Nation tour ended in August with a few Mexico dates right at the end of that tour there, Kiss never did a full-blown tour for about 4 years. Gene and Paul would use these next few years to do a few different solo projects. I remember that Gene Simmons did a TV show around that time. It was a British show called Gene Simmons Rock School. Let me find it here. Yes, it aired 2 seasons, one in 2005 and one in 2006. I remember loving that show as a little kid as I was first getting into Kiss. Kiss only did 2 dates in the year 2005 performing together. One of them was a free event for the Rocking the Core show, which was actually released as a DVD. Kiss played 5 songs, 3 of which were put on the DVD. A really cool free concert for the United States Marine Corps. And then they played one more show, just like a weird employees event for, I think it was Honda employees, in September of that year. And besides those 2 one-off dates, that was all that Kiss did together. Gene Simmons also, by the way, put out a solo album in 2004. Cover your ears, kids. The album is called Asshole. I've never really listened to that album all the way through, actually, before. I remember hearing 1 or 2 songs when I was a kid and being kind of turned off by it. And now we're getting into the sort of time period, finally, where I am aware of the band and I am a fan. I've been talking before about their entire career, going all the way back to 1973, and now we're talking about the times I remember getting into Kiss as like a 10-year-old in 2006. Anyway, again, very limited touring work in 2006. They do a Japanese tour in July, which was pretty cool. They did some cool rare cuts, and there's a good pro shot from the Udo Festival from that tour that I really like. But aside from that, the only other gig I believe that they did that year was for the Vh1 Rock Honors, which was a very cool thing. Vh1 honored them with a show in 2006. One amazing moment that happened during this show was they invited Ace Frehley to be a part of the taping. He didn't do any sort of big reunion performance with Kiss, but he did join an all-star tribute to the band that played a version of God of Thunder. So he did play a Kiss song at the ceremony, but he did not perform with Kiss, the band that he had, of course, left 4 years earlier. He is seen with Gene, appearing to be having a good time at the taping, though, so that was really cool. So they're all getting their little projects in around this time when Kiss is not actively touring. Paul Stanley releases his solo album in 2006. It's called Live to Win, and he goes out on his own club tour. He does North America in the fall of 2006 and comes back for an Australian leg in 2007. Gene is now going into the world of television. Of course, after Gene Simmons Rock School, he launches the incredibly successful Gene Simmons Family Jewels. I mean, I really think that program did a lot to expose the world of Kiss to younger fans. When I was a little kid, it was a really big deal. I know Eric Singer around this time is touring fairly extensively with Alice Cooper and doing some Eric Singer project work on the side as well. And Tommy is, of course, leading Kiss's DVD division. In 2006, Kiss released that awesome Kissology Volume 1 DVD set, which I just loved. That was like my Kiss Bible growing up, was watching that thing over and over. And of course, they followed it up with Kissology Volume 2 and 3 in 2007. Just awesome DVD sets. The only touring Kiss did in 2007 was a brief 4-date tour called the Hit and Run Tour, a comment on the tour's brevity. The first 3 dates of this tour went off without a hitch, but on July 27th at the Saboba Casino in San Jacinto, California, Paul Stanley, right after doing sound check, had a heart scare. He had to be taken to the hospital due to a heart condition and missed the show. And this wild thing happened where Paul told the rest of the band to go on with the show anyway, despite the fact that he had been hospitalized. So Gene came out with Tommy and Eric, and they did a good job of winging it.
This is important to us. Paul's heart was going at 200 beats a minute. 200. I had to inject him to stop his heart. And we were thinking of canceling the show because there was no way for Paul to do the show. We're here because we care about you. Before Paul left, he was on a stretcher. He said, "Don't let the fans down." He said,
they made up a little set list of songs that didn't involve Paul for the most part. I think they took a couple of Paul songs and got audience members out on stage to sing them. It was actually a really cool event. They made the most out of what was a terrible circumstance. But Paul was fine. He recovered quickly. I think that this was a known condition for him. It's something that he'd been already dealing with. He wound up, like I said, being totally fine. Still the lead singer, that is, of Kiss to this day. As a little 11-year-old kid, my parents surprised me with tickets to see Kiss in Whistler, BC, at this outdoor festival. I was 11. I didn't even know Kiss were actively touring, because they really weren't. This was going to be kind of a one-off for them, and I was so blown away that I was going to see them, and my little 11-year-old heart was broken a couple of weeks later when they canceled the show. It was a whole big deal. There were lawsuits involved, but the show never happened. It was really only on sale for a couple of weeks, and I remember as an 11-year-old who had tickets to see that show with the family, it was going to be my first Kiss concert. It was devastating to not be able to go, but I did get a chance to see Kiss. I've seen them 4 times now. And to top it all off, that same year, Ace Frehley came to Vancouver. I lived in the Vancouver area, and he played a casino in town, but since it was a casino, you had to be 19 to go, and I was only 11, so we couldn't make that work. So I was so sad that I had what I thought at that time would likely be my only opportunity to see not only my favorite band, Kiss, but Ace Frehley as well, and both of them slipped through my fingers. But I've been able to now see Ace Frehley twice as well. So again, all is well now, but I was a very sad little 11-year-old. It wasn't too long after that that Kiss announced that they would finally be doing what fans were asking for, and they were going back out on tour again for the first time in 4 years. I'm going to cover the Alive 35 tour and probably the Sonic Boom album as well in my next video, as we move into what was just a glorious time for me to be a Kiss fan when suddenly Kiss started touring again and making new music again. It was really special. So yes, I'll talk about all of that in the next episode of Kisstory. Thank you all so much for watching. So for those of you who don't know, I am also in a Kiss tribute band. We are called Alive and Kissin'. We are based out of Vancouver, BC. Gonna play a bunch of shows around BC in 2022. Really excited. We got 2 shows coming up, one in March, one in April, that we're about to announce. I don't have those specific dates in there, but for links to what that band is doing and what I'm doing in my solo music career as well, you can find all that in the description. Like this video if you liked what you saw, subscribe to my channel if you've been enjoying my videos, and you can ring the notification bell too if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which will be real soon. Rock history videos every Friday. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.